Welcome to CDS Studios and come knit with me. I am going to be creating a chart for a sweater I am making. This is my pattern. This in the words, and this is a spreadsheet that I'm using, and it is going to be what I did is I froze the rows here by going window, and it will say freeze panes at that point. And what that does, it lets you scroll up and down, and it keeps the top row and the first column stationary. So I typed in a 1 at my second column, which is column B, row 1, and then I have to figure out how many stitches I need. Now, to view my pattern, what I do is I have both windows open, I let the spreadsheet take up half of it, and I let the pattern take up the other half. Okay, and then I go View, Web Layout. And then I scroll down to where the section that I'm going to be recreating on the spreadsheet, which is my back. And I make the font large enough for me to read it easily. Okay, so it says cast on 112 stitches. So I need to extend this row to 112 because these are my stitches. And to do that, I type an equal sign, I come back and click on cell B1, then I hit a plus, and then I hit a 1, and then I hit enter. Okay, and that's a formula. And then I grab that corner and I drag it out approximately 111 spots, which if you drop it, so you can see what you're doing, it's at 36 right now. I just keep doing that until I hit 112. Now, when you see those number signs, that's just telling you that it doesn't have enough room to view the number. Okay, so just double click on the line between the cells, and that'll fit to the size. It's the easiest way. Okay, then you come back over here. Now you got to figure out how many rows you're going to be doing. The easiest way is go to the last step, and it says there's a total of 136 rows. So I'm going to put 136 in position A2. Now you see it doesn't fit, so I just do the double click and it moves the column to fit the number. Now in this case I need to do a subtraction, so I do an equal sign, click on the cell I started with, which is A2, then hit a minus sign, and then hit a 1, and then enter. What that does, that'll subtract 1 from the number I entered. And just drag this down until you get to a 0, which I didn't grab it properly. Went in the wrong spot. I'll erase those in a moment. Just come on down. Well, this one's a little bit easier because you know you're going 136, and you know you went up 1, so you got to go 1 more. And just stop at 0. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of those other rows. Control up to get to the top row. Then what I'm doing is I'm Control, Shift, and then arrow across. That'll highlight the whole row. And then delete. And then I'm arrowing back to the beginning. Okay, so now I'm at I'm at B3, but I need to be at row 1, which right now I'm at row 35. So I'm going to do Control, arrow down. That gets me to row 1. Then in the pattern form, I go back up, and it says, now I'm going to put the rib on I'm going to do the rib first, but I'm not going to put that on the chart here first. I'm going to start with row 2. So I'm going to work 68 rows. Okay, so I go up here, I go up to 68, which is right here. Then I go across over till I get, till I get to 112. Make sure I'm at 68. I leave it highlighted. Then I come up here where my borders and I select all borders. And that tells me that's knitting, because I'm not doing any pattern for my back. Then I come back and I go check out the next step, which is step 3. It's the armhole shaping. Okay, now I'm going to do a highlight on row 69. That tells me that that's where I'm going to start doing something different. Okay, and to highlight it, you just select the cell, come up here in your formatting line and do fill color, and just choose whatever color you're most comfortable with. Okay, and then I am going to cast off 6, so I'm going to highlight 6 cells in row 69, and I'm going to mark it. Okay, and then I'm going to come over to the end. Oops, yeah, it's hard to find sometimes. Okay, and I'm going to select all borders, and then I'm going to select 6 here, and I'm going to mark it as a decrease, and then I'm going to mark this row as border. Okay, because that finishes up that row. Now we're going to start the sleeves. Now, the sleeves, what I do on one side, I need to do on the other side. And let me make this smaller so you can see what I'm referring to. Okay? Now I know you can't see it real well, but what I do on this side, I'm going to do on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a row, pick a column, somewhere in between, and I'm just going to hide it temporarily. Okay, and I'm going to try to do it even, but I don't always get it even. Okay, now, and to hide this, I'm going to go Format, Column, Hide. And this is only temporary. They're still there. I just want to see both sides. See, I want to see this side and this side at the same time. So I am going to decrease 1 stitch at armhole and every 3rd row 10 times. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to decrease. So that is 3, and I've decreased 1 on each side, and do the border, and that's 1. Now you can mark a 1 over on the side just to help. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. I'm going to redo 4 because I select 4 rows instead of 3, because I'm only decreasing every 3rd row. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a 4 because I forget sometimes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's see if I did that. Okay, I'm going to do column, unhide. See, that's why I like to hide it, because it filled all this in. Alright, so now my next step. Now I'm going to put a mark. Let me get bigger so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to put a mark at 37 like I did before, because I'm doing something different. Well, not the whole row. Just highlight column A. because I'm going to do something different. At this point, I don't know what I'm doing different. We'll check out my... Okay, then decrease 1 stitch at armhole ends every second row 18 times. Okay, so now I need to decrease this. Well, let's see if I can get it all in one window. Okay. I'm gonna hide some cells. Column, hide. That way I can see all of them, and I'm going to go 18. That should bring me to 44 stitches left. Okay, so it's every other, so that's 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just put a 5 over here so that I can help keep track of where I'm at. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 'Let me undo that one because I did it wrong. This is 12. I forgot to decrease 1. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now I go unhide, and I should have 44 stitches in that highlighted part there. So let's see if I do. So I click on the first block and come all the way to the end, and I have 44. See how it kind of hovers and tells you there? It's one row and 44. See, that tells me how many are in that row. So that is my back, and the back is going to be plain, so I'm not going to do anything to it. So this is what my back looks like when I get done. It's also a way to check out a pattern too. Now, remember the rows we have not put on the cuff yet, which is 20 rows of 1 by 1 rib. Okay, now the rib, so we have, let me get big so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we have 20 rows, and since I'm going to do the subtract 1 also, I'm going to copy any one of these on the side, do Control C, and paste it right below the 20, Control V for paste, and you can also highlight and go down 20 rows, which is 38, 28, somewhere around there. Need a little bit more. Now if you go over, which I'm going to go purposely here, see how you got 0, 1, -1, -2 here? Just highlight those and delete them. Okay? Now you want to highlight these all the way across. Now this is going to be your rib. And what I do for the rib, you can do a change of a color and you'll know that's your rib. You can change your font if you have a knitter's font, which I have knitting symbols on here, and you can put a okay, hang on a minute. Can never remember the knit. Okay, knit is G. I remember that much. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah. Okay, so G, with this knitting symbols I downloaded. You can find them on the web. This is a knit and that is a purl. So just copy this down. And now I want, oh, it's knit one, it's a 1x1 rib. So just copy, oops, just copy that, drag it and drop it the whole length of your back. Okay, so, and this is what it'll look like. Let's get a little bigger here. Big enough so you can, excuse me. Big enough so you can see it. See? And that's my back. Okay, now I click on my tab down here and I rename it back. So I got the front, this is the one with the pattern. I got the sleeve, like that. And I got the back. So I'm all ready to, once I finish up what I have on the machine, I'm all ready to start my back. Do a save. And that's how I convert my pattern to a chart. Now if I wanted to do a design or something, I would just type in here what I would want. And hope you have fun with it.